Welcome to the StockManager.com studios. I'm Brian Johnson, and looks like the bulls aren't done yet. Starting out the new week, we see a push up in the markets. We were looking for some confirmation, I was anyway, from the bears, and so far, nothing. A lot of week left, but overall, start to the week, it's more of the same. What is that? Bulls are buying the dips, and they're buying the dips aggressively on all of the markets, especially the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ took quite a whooping last week, but today came back with a vengeance, being the strongest of all of the indices, up over 1% today on the NASDAQ, and maybe even stronger than that on the NDX. We'll see in just a minute. You can see here, I drew in an overhead line. I wanted to track this line, see if this would make a difference, and it did for maybe an hour or two, and then you can see it start to push above it. So we came up, we hit this line, we stopped, we tried to get above it, and we held, and then last 3 hours of the day, we finally made our push, and we're able to get to new highs. I'm not convinced that it's going to last that long above this blue line, but for the time being, still a very strong move by the bulls, and a very strong move by the Dow. The Dow has never really dipped all that much over the last few days. Knew there would be a lot of talk about non-confirmation in the Dow, and we did see a lot of that this weekend. At least I was told that there was a lot of that going on in the blogosphere this weekend. Anyway, personally, I don't watch or read a lot of other blogs just because I'm pretty secure with what I'm doing in my own, and I don't want to be influenced by outsiders in most cases. But there are a few that I do look at, and I know that some people told me, yeah, they are hearing a lot about the whole Dow non-confirmation thing. So we talked about that a little bit, and so far so good. Yeah, Dow still has not confirmed what we've seen in the SPX and the NDX, although I really think it's just a matter of time before it does. Here's a nice big move up. You can see the tall white candle. Now, instead of getting these moves of 50 points, 40 points, 60 points, we finally get a decent day of 110 points, all from the very open. So the market did give you opportunities if you're an intraday trader to jump in and play it all day long. So overall, for the day, not too bad. Not a huge amount of confirmation from the internals, but good enough to call this a decent move for sure by the bulls on the day. NDX 60-minute up as well. Here we go, 1.4%. So the overall NASDAQ composite just up over 1%, but you can see the NASDAQ 100 reacting very, very well to it, one of them being Apple. We'll see that in a second. However, coming right back into overhead resistance on the 60-minute. So, big push down into support, back up into resistance, back down into support, back up into resistance. Can you see how important these lines can be? Very, very important, giving you good opportunities for price targets. If you're an intraday trader, it's pretty much about as easy as it comes. Get out at the end of the day, or towards the end of the day. You can see it never reached above this level. But a consolidation right now. So, will we see the push back down? Anybody's guess. However, we get back above this blue line, that's less and less likely in the short term. We could still see some bullishness coming out of the markets. Here we go. Resting on this 20. I said this is certainly a step in the right direction for the bears. Wanted some confirmation. Absolutely didn't get it today. The 20-day held perfectly here on the NDX as we see it come down, hit once, hit twice, hold, and no confirmation today by the bears. And an incredibly good opportunity for the bears to make something happen. They chose not to take it. So, market still bullish, looking to push this thing higher. Getting above this area tomorrow would certainly lend its hand towards retesting those highs. You can see this consolidation from a weekly. We're only one day into it, so we'll get real heavy into it. We'll see where this closes by the end of the week, but was really looking for something less than a consolidation, something more in the lines of a push down coming into this week, and still could get it. Just a matter of time. There are some other indices that I'm discussing with my subscribers that had this type of a formation. We're talking about where the likely potential is for those things to go in the future. But overall, I'd really like to see this thing maybe hang tough sideways or potentially drop. See that pullback, the pullback as it were, finally come back into the markets. SPX 60-minute also came right back up to retest these overhead levels. Not near as strong as the Dow. See, as the Dow's reaching these levels again, S&P not so much. It was actually the weakest of all of them today. And some of that on the back, but all sectors were up for the day. The weakest one, guess what? financials. They still can't find their footing right now. So we'll see if they don't find some grip over the next couple days and push this thing higher. Visiting this, yes, you could maybe make this into now a cup and handle type of a formation. Cup and handle, yes, handy little formation. You can look that up if you'd like. But you can see here, resting right back at overhead resistance. Looks pretty strong for the time being. So any kind of a move up tomorrow, definitely want to keep an eye on this. We could retest those highs and even beyond, maybe reaching now that 1300 to 1315 mark that everybody's been talking about for the last umpteen months. Okay, perfect test of the 20, a hold, still holding, and a big push up to start this week gives us this nice big white candle here. Remember I told you these candles mean nothing to me? This is exactly why. They mean nothing to me. This little doji candle here and this one here, whatever, I don't care. And you can see why. Today they really didn't give any indication of anything. Some people might look at this and go, oh, look, that's a gravestone doji, that's bearish. Yeah, not so much. You can see today we certainly didn't get any confirmation of that. So still trying to push its way upwards. As I said, we're only 6 points from the top, so any continued strength tomorrow could absolutely get us up and over this level, then taking us to 13, into that 1310, maybe 1315 area, potentially even higher than that. On the weekly, may not be done yet. Got to wait till this weekly closes, but as of right now, the start of the week looks very, very strong for the markets. VIX Daily also giving us confirmation. You can see, once again, down. So here we go again. Markets flat, VIX up. Markets flat, VIX up. Markets move up, VIX moves down. So in the bigger picture, still no panic. We are not above 19 or that 20 area, which is what I've been talking about for quite a while now. And from a weekly perspective, look how well we held the 20-day moving average. Don't necessarily care too much for technicals on the VIX, but hey, you know what? When they're working, they're working. And right now, in this case, they are. They held the 20-week moving average so far very, very well. Let's see where this ends up by the end of the week. If we get any sustained bearishness or bullishness, in the markets themselves, watch for this thing to drop back into this level down in here, and we'll kind of see those choppy action as we saw back here. See all this right here? We could get that same type of consolidation on the VIX going forward. We'll see if that changes. Like I said, anything can happen. Only the first day of the week, anything can happen. These are weekly charts, so we can't know too much more about them until maybe Thursday-ish. That starts to give us a much better idea. 60-minute Apple, look at this. Broke that blue line, and poof, away you go. This is good. Once we got above the 200, once we got above that blue line, a very aggressive place to get long. Paid off today. A little less aggressive up in this area. Paid off today. Didn't really matter. It was go long, Apple, you win. That's all you had to do. If you went short, you lost. You went long, you win. This is why it's so difficult for me to short Apple. It's so fundamentally strong. It really is. Daily looking like this now. Look, big candle up, huge move down, big move up. Look, up $10 today, almost $11 today. Apple, extremely volatile and a heck of a lot of fun to play from an intraday standpoint. Lots of money to be made in Apple right now with these volatile moves doing what they're doing here. And more importantly, back above the 20-day moving average. So didn't seem to have any problem slicing back through that and getting it back above this 335, 336 area. Overall, just consolidation. You can see the move up, the move down, the move sideways right now in the weekly. A little early, like I said, to make any ideas of where we might end up. But however, I'm still gonna poke at this upper line. We continue to head upwards back into that 350 area. This is absolutely an overhead line of resistance I am watching for if Apple continues its move to the upside. To the downside, it's 320, 315, somewhere down in there. FAS on a 60-minute. Look at this. Here was that little bull flag, and today we got the breakout. Now it wasn't a very strong break. Everything moving very, very flat. Why? Because the financials didn't go anywhere. So it's being reflected here in the FAS. Still waiting for breaks above $30.50. Still the place I'd like to see a move to the upside if any kind of bullishness comes into the markets. All right. Sitting here, $30.50. Then, of course, below is still below the 20 and or below $29. I really like these for my shorting opportunity. So, below 29, above $30.50. Still my entries on FAS and on FAZ. Look at this, hanging very nicely sideways. Yet in this particular downtrend, we've been tracking for a while. Still like it below that 840 mark. You make it 835, somewhere down in there. And or above, maybe $8.80 for the more aggressive, above $9 for the more aggressive. I still would rather it get back up into here before we take any more trades on FAZ. But if you want to get aggressive, this is the place to do it. Down and around in this area right here. Get long here. It's very defensible. You can put in a pretty simple stop of maybe 10-20 cents. Protect yourself down in this area. To the lower side, below 840 then. To the short side on FAZ. Daily, same type of thing, just consolidating here, waiting for pushes above here, pushes below here. Nothing's changed in that aspect from yesterday's video. So, waiting for entries one way or the other on your financials. They went nowhere today. I'm going to need some bullishness out of them. There is this consolidation, though, is actually good for the bulls as long as it stays in a consolidation fashion. So, going back to the FAS daily, you can see as long as we stay up high, stay consolidated, watch for pushes over $30.50, a very, very good place to look to take a little bit of a long position in FAS. You can put in maybe a quick 50-cent stop and save yourself a lot of, that'd be a pretty good protection right there. Even a 25-cent stop wouldn't be so bad. So up above these areas, below here, this consolidation is still bullish overall for the financials until we start to drop back below about 29. Then I'm going to start to get a little bit more sketchy on the financials. Okay, so we will be back with you again, as always, tomorrow night. Hope you guys are enjoying the new sites. You can leave comments. There's a lot of new things that are available. I think I figured out how to make my videos work pretty easily now, not only from a flash standpoint, but also from iPods and iPads and mobile phones. I tested it this weekend on my iPod. It worked fantastic. I tested it this weekend from my Droid Incredible. Worked fantastic. So I'm very happy where we're getting. Couple of kinks to work out. The site was pretty slow this weekend, but I see it's a little bit snappier now, so it looks like things are getting better. Feel free to leave comments, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Bye.